opinion's important, so you gotta speak out. Don't let your chance to be heard pass by. Spare not, let me hear you now. Crowd, shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up, shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up, wake up. No time for sleeping on the issues. This is neutral voices, we gon' deal with the issues. Wake up. This is neutral voices, we gon' deal with the issues. Your voice matters, your thoughts count. Your opinion's important, so you gotta speak out. Don't let your chance to be heard pass by. Spare not, let me hear you now. Crowd, shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up, shout it out real loud. Everybody wake up, wake up. No time for sleeping on the issues. This is neutral voices, we gon' deal with the issues. Everybody wake up, no time for sleeping on the issues. This is neutral voices, we gon' deal with the issues. Wake up.
Welcome to all our NV family. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We're in the Neutral Voices Studios, the place where your voice matters. I am C. Stats, your host for tonight's Youth Night, where we talk to our teens about real issues that they're going through. So if you're a parent, or even if you're not a parent, feel free to leave a comment to ask our teens questions that you want answers to. And as always, if you learn something new, please share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please help us introduce Mr. Adrian Curry. Back again. Mr. Curry is the director of the Art Leadership Center, and he's here with some of his students, Captain Desiree Buchanan, Ambassador Montana Ladd, and Montana Land, and Ambassador Elijah Brown. Hello in the room, everybody in there.
How you guys doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome.
Welcome,
We
guys.
thank y'all for joining us tonight.
So excited.
So excited. So to kick off, the young people, we had Mr. Curry in here the other night. So if each one of you would just like to introduce yourselves and give us a little background about you.
For sure, I'll go ahead and kick it off really quick. My name is Adrian Curry. I am the CEO of the Art Leadership Center and the executive director of the newfound Juneteenth Collaborative. I am excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I gave you a detailed introduction of myself at the last show, so I'm going to let the spotlight be on my student leaders here.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
My name's Desire Buchanan. I'm the daughter of Unique Fields and Charles Buchanan. I am an 8th grade student leader at the Arts Leadership Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I aspire to be a vocalist. And also, I'm from Lakeside Middle School.
Okay.
Yay.
My name is Elisha Brown. I'm the son of Mazola Brown and Earl Brown. I'm an 8th grade student leader at the Arts Leadership Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I aspire to be a film director. I'm a student at Memorial Park Middle School.
Okay. Oh, welcome.
My name is Matana Land. I am a sophomore student leader at the Art Leadership Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I aspire to be a therapist. I am going to be a junior at Northside High School next year.
All right. Welcome. Well, since we got y'all talking and we had Mr. Curry give us a little background about the center, we want each of you to tell us what brought you to the center.
Oh, that's a great question. Desire, will you start us off? What brought you to the center?
Well, actually, I started stepping with Mr. Curry when I was in 2nd grade at my elementary school, Forest Park. And then I went to Acoma at Weiser, and then he started the Art Leadership Center. But at first, when I first joined in elementary, I thought it was just pretty cool. But now I'm more interested because of the bonds that I built.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So that's one of the things I was going to ask. So what is one of the things that you enjoy about being a part of the Art Leadership Center?
Shoot, Desire.
Well, I think the most important part for me, or the most interesting part, is how normally I'll be in the house and now I explored the community I done went to multiple locations, and I also gained a lot of opportunities.
I like how she said now she's exploring the community.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of times, I feel like I am too exploring the community. Sometimes I like to do that and, just kind of drive around and I observe things. And so that's good. I love that. You mentioned, or one of you guys mentioned, and I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I can't really see you guys, but somebody mentioned about the friends. So, tell me about that part because you have friends at your homeschool. So, what's different about the friends and the relationships at the Art Leadership Center? There. So, yay, I can see you.
We can't hear. We can't hear.
Oh, I lost you. Wait a minute, my good people. You gotta. I was gonna say.
Yeah, we lost sound. Give us a second. Give us a second. They lost sound. Hello? Testing? They can't hear us in the room either.
Oh, we can hear you.
Can you
Here we
hear?
go.
Here we go.
Good.
There we go.
All right, we're back.
We're back. I'm sorry. Can you? It was technical, but if you could repeat that, you repeat your question first, Doc V.
I can do that. I was asking what was different about the relationships at the Art Leadership Center versus at the homeschools.
Fantastic. Elisha Brown, go ahead and continue, my good man.
So I believe the relationships that I have at the Art Leadership Center are different compared to my school relationships. They're different because my relationships at the Art Leadership Center, they're more hands-on. I'm able to make connections outside of the Art Leadership Center. And I really don't think of these people as my friends. I think of them as family.
That's good.
That's great. That's great.
Mr.
Awesome,
Curry, I got a
awesome
question
answer.
for you. How can
Yes, talk to us.
how can a parent get their child involved in the leadership program?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. Well, and also, thank you. You can check us out at theartleadershipcenter.org, or you can check us out on Facebook at The Art Leadership Center. And if you send me an inbox, or you can just go straight to the website and register. So that's pretty much how you'd reach me, or you can reach me via email at theartleadershipcenter13@gmail.com.
Okay. Where is it located at?
That's a great question. We've been transitioning here. We started off at St. Henry Community Center. We were there for approximately 2 years. And then COVID-19 hit, and so we had to go ahead and take it to the virtual classroom where at that time we were able to really get into the peer-reviewed articles and really focus on the academic portion, which I like to call lecture. And now we're transitioning over to Faith United Methodist Church on DeWalt in Clinton.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
I have a question for anyone in the room, actually. Tell me what a typical day looks like at the center.
Talk to us, Desire.
Well, actually, practice is between 4 and 8, but the elementary and middle school get there at 4, and the high school get there at 5. So basically, when we get there, we'll either go over our poems, and then when everybody gets there, we'll go over our lecture, like you said, when we learn about words and basically our history. And then he'll make the ambassadors, me, Elisha, and Matana, and we'll do stretches and a workout. And then after that, we'll actually start stepping and preparing our shows.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Awesome.
I have a question, and it's to just consolidate and give us a greater understanding of your program, Mr. Curry.
Okay.
Now, it sounds like you are completing these young people with mind, body, and soul. It means that you're doing something physical to them, you're giving them the mental experience and the relationships you're building. But in an overall nutshell, because some people may not have caught you the last time, just give us a brief synopsis of the program makeup.
Art Leadership Center is all about developing a Renaissance leader. And so there's a lecture component and there's a lab component. The lecture, the idea is to teach service, science, law, art, alignment, and what we call power. And so we want to systematically, through a ranking system, develop the Renaissance leader. Okay. And so as far as the lab is concerned, it's more of the expression of the actual thing that is learned, right? We have the genotype, which is the coding, and then the phenotype, which is the expression.
Okay. Oh wow, that is good. You know, that's something that's needed in the community, and I really like the term Renaissance leader because you know that is giving us a generation of the next leaders and everything. It's good to have a program, and again, thank you all for tuning in, our MV family, and we are here on our team night, and we have the Art Leadership Center and their director and a couple of their students or ambassadors. We're going to call them ambassadors because we don't have students, but that was their title on the screen as the
They have
ambassadors.
different titles.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
yes.
I mean,
So
that's
I would
major
say
right
that's
there.
a good time to go ahead and state your titles, your position again, and then let us know exactly what you have to do in that particular position. I would like to know that.
Miss Desire.
Sorry. My role, well, I'm one of the ambassadors, but also I'm the captain. And I would say all the ambassador roles are the same, but for me, I am the one who does counts and stretches with people. And we also, each of the ambassadors, we have the equipment, so we'll make sure that all our equipment is where it needs to be at all times. But we're also the person that the younger people come to when they need help, so they'll come to us for guidance.
I love that.
Yeah,
So the young
that's
people
major,
have
right?
someone to, to look up to, and so you're already learning how to mentor,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
to speak. That is
Yes,
beautiful.
and you know what, Miss Veronica, Miss Matana Land, and because of their age differences, their
Yes.
roles actually vary. So, for instance, I use Mr. Elisha Brown. He carries our speaker all around, and he also guides along with the other two. Miss Matana, because of her age, she has a Facebook page, so she handles some other orders of business. Matana, talk to us about that.
Yes.
I basically just give reminders. I help with like scheduling. I make sure everybody has rides. Well, not me. I can't drive. My stepmom. I'm kind of like the bridge between our student group and then the adult group chat that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I like that.
You know, something that I have to bring up that I noticed immediately when I first met all of you back in that room is how polite and well-spoken and well-versed. So then when you were walking back into the studio, I saw your shirt and I was like, there it is. So I'm wondering if somebody can read me what the back of your shirt says.
Elisha, talk to us.
So the back of our shirt has our 5 wells, which are well-read, well-spoken, well-dressed, well-traveled, and well-balanced.
And that is so
wow.
true from the moment you started speaking. So is that
Absolutely.
something, with the mannerism and, all of it, the actual vibe, the aura, is that something that you believe that you picked up from the Art Leadership Center?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And it's still growing. You're never really done with the process. You just continue flourishing.
Oh wow,
That's good.
Wow, that's
They
good.
are
That's
showing a
deep.
good close up,
Yeah.
so that we can get a good view of that. And I was impressed with the handshake first of
Yes.
all, and the eye contact as they introduced themselves.
Yes,
So,
that is huge.
Mr. Curry, being the director, is there a criteria for a student to be enrolled into your program?
Hear me? There we
Yes.
go. But the criteria, as
something's going on here tonight with this.
long as you're 4 years old and up, you're allowed to be a part of the Art Leadership Center.
Oh, you start at 4?
Yes, indeed.
Man,
Wow.
Hey,
Hey, wow,
how
that-
major that is?
Yeah, that's
just
major.
talk about it. You starting a child that that's the beginning of their learning stage.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Man,
you want to get them
that's
before
deep.
5.
Right.
Yeah, most of the students that we have that start at 4 or 5, a lot of times they can't write yet necessarily. So that's one of the things we focus on immediately. They write their name over and over. They write their A's, B's, and C's, whether capital or lowercase,
Yes.
repetitively, just constantly. But they're still required to memorize everything.
That's good. Now, are people allowed to just come and take a tour and just hang out just to get a better look at what's going on and to see the young people in action?
Yeah, sometimes I'll schedule that. Our practices are relatively private because of the
Okay.
process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the students don't behave the same when people are watching,
Right.
quite frankly. I always tell the parents, I say, well, our best shows I only get to see, right? You know, when we go out in public, they do very well. Yet at the same time, the spirit is different when we're in the room and we're
Yes.
really working on our
Yes.
kinks,
Right.
you know.
Right, right. You know, I have to say that I have seen you guys perform your step at certain, different events throughout the community. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was just so intrigued because that takes a lot of discipline. I mean, there are so many, there's so much rhythm and there's so many strong, precise steps. Is this something that, were you all dancers at one point? Is this something that you had to learn from the bottom up?
Hear us? There we go.
Well, actually, every person that's new, we have this thing called fundamentals, which is blades, pumps, basic scroll, advanced, and jazz hands. So basically, we'll go over fundamentals, and then once we also have our rest positions as position 1, position 2, stars, and attention. After everybody has that, then we'll make sure it's all down and accurate, and then after that, that's when we'll start learning bigger steps.
Wow. So it sounds like with you just breaking that down, it sounds like you could almost teach me a few steps here because you got this thing. Now, so I'm just wondering, would you say that these steps are challenging or do they seem simple to you?
Elisha Brown, talk to us.
I feel like the steps themselves aren't challenging. It's just the breakthroughs that you go through learning those steps. It's not only a physical pain, you break through barriers. So I think that's what's really great about the Art Leadership Center.
Wow, that was deep. That sounded like Mr. Curry's speech right there.
Good answer.
About breaking through barriers.
That sounded like a speech
Goodness.
Mr. Curry gave us the other day. But Mr.
Right?
Curry,
Yes.
I want to ask you, and I want your youth to answer this as well. But how do you attract people to yours? Because think about it. In our society today, visually, everything can be attracted negatively. So how do you attract people to your program? And as the youth, how do you entice your friends to join you into something positive?
That is a great question. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That is a great question. The piece is, when I first started the Art Leadership Center, I always thought about how am I going to attract students, right?
Uh-huh.
And as time went on, I realized that I didn't necessarily want to attract students. I want to attract leaders.
Uh-huh.
And so I want those who are willing to go through a process to allow the breaking down, right? The aligning and the crystallizing, right? And so that's the idea. So we're looking for students that truly have the ability to hold firm, to be tight, to maintain, right? The race is not just for the swift, but for those who can endure.
Oh,
We're looking for those who can endure ultimately. And these students behind me have endured, quite frankly. They've been doing it for many years. But I'll let them speak to the piece about friends and them wanting their friends to join, etc.
Wow.
Ms. Desire.
Well, actually, we do have social medias like Facebook and Instagram. And basically on our social medias, we may show some of our steps, but we also show the stuff that we produce, like our teas. And then we'll also show us helping the community as, like, the Great American Cleanup. We have been doing that for, I would say, 4 years. So we also show how we help the community, like, in the gardens and stuff.
For sure.
Wow.
Miss
Wow.
Matana, talk to us.
Okay, so we don't necessarily go seeking out people. It's kind of like how water is attracted to water. Like our spirits are like attracted to each other, so they just kind of come.
That's so true.
Precisely. Like dissolves like.
Well,
It's chemistry, right?
Well, before we go a little further, Mr. Curry, first and foremost, I do want to apologize. You know, we technical things are happening with our sound, so we want to apologize for cutting in and out. Equipment is failing us right now, but we appreciate you for staying with us. But secondly, I hear you in each and every one of those students.
Yes, right.
You do. Now, I want to ask about your other staff because I'm sure you are good hands-on, but how do you train your staff? And what would a criteria for a staff to be part of your program?
These are such great questions. Well, I am the only staff, quite frankly.
Oh, wow.
So this operation, every hat is worn by me, yet here recently, some of our guardian angels have stepped up to become program coordinators, and that was about a month or two ago. And so now they're beginning to step up. I have 3 new program coordinators who are beginning to handle bits and pieces. But as far as the training is concerned, they're going to have to essentially go through that same process that they're going through so they can understand each step of the way. And that's essentially learning about service, science, law, art, alignment, and power. And they have to learn how to build the body. For instance, let us build it. Atoms come together to make what?
Molecules.
Molecules make what?
Cells.
Cells make what?
Tissues.
Tissues make what?
Organs.
Organs make what?
Organ systems.
Organ systems make what?
Organisms.
Organisms make what?
Organizations.
And the first organization we know is
Families.
And families make
Tribes.
And tribes make
Nations.
Nations make
Empires.
Empires come together to make
Kingdoms.
the kingdom of heaven that is on earth. And earth is a what?
Planets.
Planets make what?
Solar systems.
Solar systems make what?
Galaxies.
Galaxies make what?
Universe.
And the universe is said to sit inside of one
Atom.
One
Atom.
One
Atom.
All right, so we build the body, right? So the program coordinators will have to be able to build the body because ultimately that is how we're bringing about unity in our community.
Yes.
Amen.
Nice.
You know,
Good job, guys.
I've noticed
Good
that
job.
no matter who's speaking, you say one word quite a bit, and that word is service. So tell me, whoever wants to answer, how it makes you feel to do service in the community, and if you think that it is necessary for both your age and adults to, serve in the community.
Well, that's wonderful. You know what? And I think just to guide this conversation just a bit, what's the etymology? Well, let's get into the etymology of the word service. Who can remember? What's the etymology of the word? Elisha Brown.
Shepherd.
Shepherd. Give me something else. Give me another one. We have shepherd. What else? Desire Buchanan.
Seraph.
Seraph, right? And the seraph is a high order angel, correct? All right. So we have a shepherd, an observer, a watcher, or a high order angel, if you will, or a guard. And we can take these words and go far with them because a guard is also, who can remember what a guard is? Elisha.
An angel.
An angel also, or a meteor, right? Give me another word for meteor. Uh-oh. They didn't know they were going to be quizzed tonight. Matana Land.
The one with tangled locks.
Precisely. The bearded one with tangled locks, which is a what?
Fiery fear.
A fiery flying serpent. I hear you talk to me. And a fiery flying serpent is what?
A dragon.
A dragon, a dragon. So a servant.
Wow.
A servant is to be a shepherd. A shepherd is to be a guard. A guard is to be a meteor is to be a dragon. And a dragon is to be a prester. And a prester, who is Prester John, is a medieval Christian king and priest who leads the people. And so a servant to many is a what?
Leader to all.
Okay. And so the idea is to serve the people, lead the people by doing service. Now, what does service mean to you? Talk to us. Elisha Brown.
So service to me, it's your foundation. Without it, you can't build anything. So not only is it building yourself, you're also helping people in your community.
Amazing.
Desire, what do you think service is? Yeah, you're on the spot. I got you.
Well, to me, service is basically, well, Mr. Curry tells us it's not about what you know, but about who you know. So when you serve, like in service, you're also building connections with people. So you're also gaining basically opportunities with other people.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Miss Matana?
I feel like a lot of what service is about being humble and meek and putting yourself in other people's shoes. So it's not really all about just giving money to charity. It's actually doing the hard work and building a building brick by brick, or in this case, a body.
Beautiful. And that, that's a good segue to the question that I have, and this is for either person and maybe all. My question is, what community issues concerns you? Yes, because there's so many different things going on. What community issues concerns you?
That's a great question. Elisha Brown, I feel like you're thinking of something.
I feel like one of the major things that need to be fixed in our community is the education system, because it's really not teaching us what we need to know. It's very standard, literally the standardized tests and such. So I think we could do better by not only learning about yourself in history class, about different cultures. You can also incorporate that into different classes, so you're able to fully understand that when you're doing 2 + 2, what these numbers really mean and things like that.
Nice.
Good answer.
What's life about?
A
And knowledge of self.
Talk to me now.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
I love that too.
Okay.
And Mr. Curry, hearing you and your team speak as one, it reminds me of the movie Drumline. One sound, one beat.
One band, one sound.
One band, one sound. and that's good. We need more individuals like you. And first and foremost, a young African-American man taking something outside of him and sharing it with a great, vast number of youth. First of all, I got to applaud you. That is rarely seen. I'm not going to say it's not seen. That is rarely seen. But it also has to be recognized when it is being seen. So first of all, I want to give you your flowers right now. Yes. I commend you, and I thank you for what you're doing with these young people.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It means a lot to me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, go ahead, Dr. V.
Well, no, I didn't know. I didn't know if you were getting ready to wrap things up. I just wanted to know if they had a favorite quote from someone, or anybody that they looked up to, that they were inspired by. Obviously, Mr. Curry, but outside of Mr. Curry, anyone inspires you? Any writings that you like to read and you remember them? You want to share a quote with us, something that might help us or help someone your age?
Thank you so much, Ms. Veronica. We'll start with Desire, Elisha, and then Matana. Talk to us.
Well, actually, recently we had watched and listened to some of the speeches of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And I think one quote that I remember from the Martin Luther King one, it was the mountaintop speech. Mm-hmm. And he said, difficult days will come, but it doesn't matter now because he has seen the mountaintop. So to me, it's basically saying that even if hard things are coming, he really doesn't care because he already seen the glory of what will happen in the future.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wow.
I love that. She put her perspective on that.
Nice. Elisha Brown.
One of my favorite quotes is by Winston Churchill. He says, "Solitary trees, if they grow at all, grow strong," which means to me that if you're going to do it at all, do it right. No matter what you go through, just keep moving forward.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Churchill, I love it.
Wait. Before Miss Montana answer, and I'm gonna give you a time. But young man, Elijah, how old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
How in the world do you know about Winston Churchill? Winston Curry, I applaud you, but that threw me when he said Winston Churchill. Yeah. Okay, but I'm gonna give young Montana her chance to answer the question as well.
I don't have necessarily a favorite quote, more so a concept. Okay. And that is, all you need is like the spark in your soul, your passion. You don't need any material. You don't need money. You just need yourself.
and your passion.
Yes.
I love
Yes,
that.
indeed.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we're going to thank Mr. Curry and his crew for being
Yes,
here.
wonderful.
And normally we end out on a positive note. But before we do that, we want Mr. Curry, because you say you're the only staff. So if you're the only staff, we got to know that it's probably tight with the funding. Can you give us, our audience and us, a way that somebody can financially help your program?
Oh, I appreciate that. We definitely accept donations. The idea, though, is for us to develop sponsors for the development of a Renaissance leader, and what that means is $90 a month for our original student leaders, and for our new student leaders, it's $115 a month. I'm sorry, that's $105 a month, $315 a quarter. And so if someone likes to help, we accept donations. That'd be great. But most importantly, we're looking for sponsorship for the development of a Renaissance leader. We're developing an elite education system alongside a global percussion theater, and we're truly developing leaders that will go out into the community. And a Renaissance means that something is obviously dead. And so it needs to be
Revived.
or
Reawoken.
all right. And what else you have?
Rebirth.
A rebirth. Talk to me. Okay. I just wanted to hear him talk. By the way, just a quick shout out. This young man here has, am I pointing the right way? This young man here has straight A pluses, all pluses on his A's. And these two have straight A's.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Wow. Let's applaud that. Man.
Yes. Awesome.
But one
Good
more thing,
job,
because
guys.
I've heard this term, you speak this term, and I don't want to be remiss by not giving you an opportunity to state what this is. Tell us what you're looking to develop and what Renaissance leaders you're looking to develop. But first, tell us what a Renaissance leader is to you.
That's a great question. Well, the Renaissance leader has many, many definitions, but the biggest picture is to uplift, to tighten up, and quite frankly, to build the body. Okay? That's what the Renaissance leader does. He organizes things. She organizes things. She's humble. She's meek. She's a servant. He's a servant to many, and therefore he can lead all. And so the idea is to gain people, student leaders that have the ability to humble themselves and be prepared to kind of create a clean slate in their mind. We've been taught things that aren't necessarily accurate. Like we may call the children kids, but we know kids are
Baby
goats.
Goats.
right. And so just little things like that. So we want to eradicate bad thinking and retrain ourselves. And so that's what the Renaissance is all about. And a Renaissance leader also has many talents. So not only do they step, not only do they do spoken word, but they're also gardening, you see. And now they're learning how to publicly speak at this very moment, you see. So we truly appreciate the opportunity to work our muscles. And like Mr. Elisha Brown said, we're working this muscle here, our strongest muscle, but we understand, like Miss Matana said, that the spark of the soul is what truly is going to lead to the thought. And we know the thought is the what?
Concrete.
And the manifestation of the thought?
Is actions.
All right. And so then we get into the physical and what our bodies do. So we just really thank you. We appreciate you for allowing us to work those muscles.
Working our muscles.
You guys mentioned spoken word quite a bit. So I just wanted to put it out there that every other Saturday we have the Flex here in the studio where you can showcase your talents. So spoken word just happens to be one of those things that we love to hear. So if any of you are ever interested, contact us.
Yes.
In the room or the audience and let us know that you would like to come on and do your spoken word back there in the studio.
I want to do one better. Mr. Curry, when we get off the air, we're going to schedule a date with you. Is that okay?
Yes. I'm nodding. I forget you can't see me. Yes.
We're going to go ahead and schedule a date. We don't want to let that pass. We want you to highlight your children and your program as much as possible. Too many times we gravitate to the negative. Something this powerful, something this positive in our community, we have to highlight as much as we can. Right. And we don't want anybody to duplicate your program, but we want somebody to be able to branch off from your program and do something similar because we cannot keep failing our children.
I hear you loud and clear. We appreciate that, and we would truly seize the opportunity. And I'd really like to say, I don't mind if they duplicate. That's the idea. To be a leader is to set an example. And we want to create a program that can really uplift not only these few children, but children across the land.
Yes.
And I just want to say this. These children are very humble. They sacrifice so much. You know, they're well-spoken, they're polite, etc., but they get really down to business in the classroom. They truly do. And I just want to give them a shout out. I don't always give them shout outs, you know.
Yes.
I'm pretty hard on them. You know, we want to make sure we're tight, we're disciplined, etc. But they've sacrificed a lot to become what they are today and what they're going to become in the future, which is a Renaissance leader.
Wow, yes, awesome. Wow. We are so proud of you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us.
I'm going to be honest. Mr. Curry, this is my first encounter with you the last 2 nights that we had. So I didn't really know what to expect, but I'm leaving here full. I mean, just everything from your conversation to your leadership to your illustration and your everything that you do with these young people. I mean, and what got you to the point to say, I'm going to put Mr. Curry aside and I'm going to develop these Renaissance leaders?
I felt like it's what I always wanted. And so when I saw students with potential, I was 15 when I started teaching. And I decided, you know what, let me pour into them because I don't know who else will. And so that's how it all started, you know, and it's fulfilling to me. It's satiating to me, you know, who they're becoming, the things they're accomplishing. And I know that, and they uplift me. They do a lot for me as well. So it's a trade-off. It's a beautiful thing. And I'll move on one day and they'll be in position. That's one of the ideas, is develop peer-led instructors and ALC certified instructors, which is why they're in the position today, because they'll be in a position to teach here very soon. As you notice, Ms. Veronica, Desire Buchanan does run practice many of the times, actually all 3 of them collectively. She does. She can line them up. She can run the counts. She can have them get tight. She knows how to do all those pieces. Yes. And please forgive me, I do want to say this. We are so excited to perform at Juneteenth.
I just want to say, I was just getting ready to ask that question. Will you guys be performing at the Juneteenth event that's coming up? So if you don't mind, before we exit, I know we're probably out of here, but can you please tell us about that real quick?
Yes, Miss Desire, it seems like you can handle that.
Well, actually, for Juneteenth, there's a different event for each day. But the ones that ALC will be participating in will be June 13th, which is the Elders Appreciation Day. We will be escorting the elders and also doing a spoken word mainly, but also a performance. And then for June 19th, we'll have our torch ceremony, which is the passing the torch to the ALC for Juneteenth. And then we'll also have the promenade, which will be scrolling across the street. And then we'll have the open ceremony. And then we'll also have the Jubilee, which is the big, big show.
Oh, the big, big show.
Awesome.
Strolling. I'm excited. I might be strolling too.
Please stroll with us, please.
Yes, thank
Neutral
you.
Voice is stretched. Let's get out there with them. Let's get out there with them.
We need you. We can't do it without you. Seriously.
Yes, we know. And when it's Juneteenth, when is the promenade? And Mr. Curry, we had a flyer, but it's not on our desk anymore.
No worries.
We got one.
I was going to say,
if we can pass
you
it down.
don't have one.
We're always ready in the corner over here.
I'm always ready in the corner.
Awesome.
Come on, bro. Now, again, this runs from Sunday, June 13th, until Saturday, June 19th. And it has various locations, which is Turner Chapel on the 13th, Smiley's Garden on the 14th. Wow, man.
Listen, and Clarence, not to break you up and block you, but that Facebook page that they have, the Juneteenth Facebook page,
yes, ma'am,
has everything they need to know on it.
Can you get
all of the
that
dates.
Juneteenth Facebook page for us, Mr. Curry?
Yes, sir. Juneteenth, Fort Wayne 2021. Juneteenth, Fort Wayne 2021. That's our Facebook page. If you would like to be a vendor, you can sign up there. There's a link. If you'd like to be a part of the promenade, there's a link. If you'd like to be a volunteer, all hands on deck, there's a link. If you'd like to donate, the GoFundMe link is there also. So all the information you need, the schedule is there. If you'd like to buy a ticket for the Elders event on June 13th, on Eventbrite, the link is there as well. So everything, like Miss Veronica said, is on Facebook on the page, which is Juneteenth 14th,
Yes.
2021.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow. Well, again, we thank you, and we don't want to keep you here all night. We can, but I know we all got somewhere to be other than this. But normally we close out, and we have one of our youth close us out with a key point or something that they can leave the community with. Mr. Curry, you have been dropping jewels all night with your young people. Give us something that's going to uplift our community, bring our community together. And then we're going to go into this video about building up the community. You know, too many times there's been, tragedies and loss and everything in our community. And Mr. Curry, you are seeming to be one of those solutions that can stop some of the things that's happening. That's the downfall of our community. So that's why we want to continue to spotlight and lift you up. But if your young people and yourself can give us something that can encourage a community, just give us some knowledge.
Awesome. You know what? I'll close it out. But give me one thing, Mr. Elisha Brown, Desire Buchanan, and Montana Land. Give us one thing. Give us one point you'd like to leave the community with.
I'd like to say that we're building a body, like Mr. Curry has said. So we all have our own roles to play within this body, and we have to have the tools to build it. We can't just do it all willy-nilly. So
That's right.
That is true.
That's true.
we have to have a strong foundation in order to start building.
Fantastic. It's
And the-
Desire.
Tools that you
Well, one thing that we talk about a lot at the ALC is that there's two paths. And I would like to say that there's two paths, and you can either choose the narrow path or the wide path that majority walks. And even if people are pulling you one direction, it's up to you to maintain and control of your destiny.
Amen.
Wow. There you go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Miss
My
Montana
God.
Land, what can you leave us with?
Fear is false evidence appearing real. Whatever
that's
you
my
want
saying.
for it, just go for it.
Hey,
right.
amen.
All
There it
right.
is. There it is.
Beautiful, honey.
Beautiful,
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you so much.
And there's nothing I can say behind that, but thank all of our MV family for joining us. And again, if you learned something new, please click, like, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, ALC. Thank you, panel. Thank you, everybody that's been behind the scenes.
Yes, thank
This has
you.
been a filling evening with these youth. Come back with us Tuesday.
Thank
We'll
you
see
so
you next
much.
week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you Juneteenth.
All right.